All right, my people of faith. Let's take another walk. All right, I'm glad to be here with you guys, and I want to go ahead and talk about a unpopular subject. However, in this day and time that we're in, I think it's very beneficial to discuss it. So here we go. The subject is unworthiness. Unworthiness. Excuse me. Unworthiness. This is the spirit that has convinced the soul that they're not good enough. Unworthiness. This is a spirit that has convinced the soul that they are not good enough. All right. So for the person who has and have, or maybe even heard about mental illness, this impacts that spirit. Oh, or the unworthiness comes from either their mental illness. They're like interconnected. So there's an interconnection. Any which way it go, they are there to bring forth torment to the soul, which is to say, no peace can enter into that soul. It's like, imagine somebody with an AK-47 or whatever kind of gun, and they're at your door, and you trying to get inside your house. Their job is not to let you get inside there. So if your home is your safe haven, your place of comfort, your place of peace, your refuge, your fortress, your solitude of confinement, away from it all. This is the place where you go to relieve the stress and the cares of the world. This is the place where you go where you feel loved, you feel peace, you feel joy. Now imagine someone standing outside your door with the AK-47 or whatever assault rifle, whatever assault gun, whatever that they have. They out there, and their job is not to allow you by any means not to let you enter in. This is what the spirit of unworthiness is. It's to stand guard in front of the soul, to not let love, whatever else, to not allow you to let love or peace or joy to come inside. This is what unworthiness is. Okay, all right. Now, if the person is asking, like, okay, that's me, if the person is saying that's me, and if they were to ask, how do I get separated from this? How do I get delivered from this? It goes like this. More than likely, you're going to ask. You're going to ask for help. If you desire to be set free. If you see that there's something is wrong, if you see that you are have this, if you feel unworthy, if you feel that you're not good enough, you're going to ask for help if you want out. And you may go to a psychiatrist. You may go to uh, your primary doctor. You may go to a spiritual person of authority, so forth. At the end of the day, if you were, or at the start of the day, or end of it, however you want to go, if you were just to allow Jesus to come in, like Jesus just doesn't want to just come in just for this situation only. He want to come in there and make sure none of this stuff ever bothers you again. And if it's able to approach you, right? If it's able to approach you with a thought, excuse me, or any suggestion of unworthiness, he want to plant himself inside you so well, whenever the thought comes, it gives you a way to escape from it. So you don't have to meditate on it, that you don't have to think on it, that you don't have to become that spirit of unworthiness or any spirit that's designed to torment your soul. It's not designed to bring you forth peace, love, or joy. It's designed to kill, steal, and destroy you. Okay? Now, here's one thing that I'm noticing, that because I suffer from this. Let me change that. Let me correct that. I don't suffer from this. This is what was at my doorstep. Unworthiness. This could have been inherited. This could have been on both sides of my family tree. You know, My mom and my dad both could have felt this way. Their parents could have felt this way, and so forth. However, I have drew to people, particularly when I dated, people who felt this way. So that means if I were sexually active with them, I'm going to I'm going to transfer what's inside them inside me. So now I become the host of this on top of what I possibly could have inherited from both sides of the family tree. Okay? All right. Now, I've I recognize this because I know that something is wrong. You go to the doctor or something like that. You go to your psychiatrist, and they may throw their hands up in the air and like they don't know what to tell you. They don't know what to do. This is out of the realm of science. This is out of the realm of medical expertise. This is spiritual, and this is a spiritual force from the spiritual darkness. Okay, so for this to be cast asunder, it's not going to be by some voodoo witch doctor, because actually that voodoo witch doctor, when they're trying to cast out something, they actually are inviting more to come inside you. They're casting out is an invitation for more to be cast out. Okay, the only one who has the power and ability to get you out of this is the spirit of love. Now, who is the only one that's supposed to be this spirit of love? This is supposed to be Jesus. This is the gift from the Heavenly Father who created all existence. Says, for God so loved the world that I gave you my only begotten Son, which is to say, God said, I love mankind so much, I am going to offer you my love. So this love is the only thing that could separate us from these demonic influences. Okay? We're talking about principalities, we're talking about powers, we're talking about thrones, we're talking about dominions. These high archangels, these are different dimensions. There's like at least like maybe possibly like 7 different realms of spiritual existence, or spiritual, I don't want to say celestials, but these are spiritual inhabitants, that goes beyond what we actually can see, but we can see their effects inside of an actual physical vessel. So these forces need to be inside a physical force for they can show so they can display their presence on the earth. Okay. Now, in times past, when we had giants on the earth, say like the story of David and Goliath, the point of David and Goliath is an unclean spirit going against a clean spirit. Okay. David represents everything that's considered good. Everything that considered good is nowhere near the very best in terms of what we may deem as successful. David was probably maybe like 5'3". He was probably skinny, scrawny. David was, he always loved to love. He always loved to walk in love. He always loved to give himself, and even to the sheep, to the animals, to whoever he was serving at the time, like his king. He would give himself with his whole heart, like to love them. So all this is considered less in the world that we live in, because those are traces of the kingdom of heaven. Kingdom of heaven is above the earth. The traces the spirit that's on the earth is actually beneath the kingdom of heaven authority. And so we're actually, these are the forces that we're actually dealing with. Remember, when Lucifer fell, he fell to the earth and he became Satan. And remember, when he left heaven with a third of the angels. So these are following him, and they're there to bring forth this torment. And they fell with him, and I don't know if they all fell on the earth, but they were once upon a time on the earth, or if they're not on the earth, then therefore we can summon them to the earth. This is the reason why you may have heard someone say, be careful with the things that you say, because you actually are, you're actually confessing things over your life, which is to say, you are bringing something from darkness to cover your soul. Okay? Now, this is we touched on the subject of unworthiness. Unworthiness, or to say, if you don't feel good enough. No matter what you do, no matter whatever, you're just not good enough. Okay? You may be the middle child, you may be the oldest child, the eldest child, you may be the youngest child. No matter what you do in the midst of this structure of your family, you're just not good enough. Or you're at your job and you're the new person that comes in, or you're the person that's been there for a long time. And the long person that's been there, you have seniority, but nobody respects you because they think that you're out of date. You may feel entitled to be unworthy. Or you're new and you feel like you got to earn your stripes, earn your keep, and everybody's treating you like that you don't exist because you're not familiar, or they don't, they haven't accepted you. So therefore, you feel unworthy. You may go to church, and there are cliques, there are associates, there are people together that really don't welcome you in. You may feel unworthy. You may feel in terms that you're too good to be bad and you're too bad to be good. You're unworthy. There's different facets and different variations of ways that this spirit has influenced us to believe that we're unworthy. But this when God gave us his love, because man, it goes like this. God, the God, the creator personally would love to talk to us face to face. He will love, which is to say, he will love to talk to us spirit to spirit, where he can actually introduce himself, and he will love us to introduce ourselves to him. But we more likely can't see him in the spirit realm because we are up under the cloud of darkness of the spirit of fear. So we're not able to acknowledge him. We're not able to whatever. So we go by reputation, we go by tradition, we go by the ones before us that we honestly respect, and we take their example, we take their word that there is a God. But that very God that they're talking about, if he's of love, and if we have seen the demonstration that they have victory over a lot of stuff that was going wrong in their life and everything else, and we want those things and we desire those things, that very God is trying to contact us so he can talk to us face to face. But the only way that we can honestly see him face to face is to receive love. This is the whole significant point and purpose, the whole significant point and purpose of Jesus. Not that Jesus would be on the cross so we can wear crosses on our chest, or not for us to go to church so we can sing songs. It's not. Jesus was given to us to be a personal savior in our life. So no matter what dark force that we go up against, because we're not fighting against family, we're not fighting against the government, we're not fighting against, that's just the shell or the fact of the matter. But it's not the truth. The truth has a beginning and an ending in the middle. The facts only can show you the beginning or the ending. Truth reveals everything. What is not seen, what is seen, and it gives you a freedom from being tormented of your soul. This is why the truth sets us free. It sets us free from the torment of our soul, that our soul can actually be in peace. So anyway, so the Father giving us His Son, if we can accept His gift, if we can accept Jesus as He came to deliver us from the spirit of darkness, the spiritual wickedness, the thrones, the dominions, the archangels, the principalities, all these things that's subject to darkness, which means they don't want to walk in love. They want to bring us torment. Jesus came to set us free from every last one if we can receive that he actually came here to do that. This is what the whole death, burial, and resurrection is all about. It's not about for us to go celebrate Easter. It's not about us to go to church to be a part of something. It's actually to recognize, to acknowledge that this is why he came. To separate us from all these different spiritual forces of darkness, so that we can have a face-to-face, spirit-to-spirit relationship with the Creator who created all existence. This actually goes past creeds, traditions. It goes past ethnicity. It goes past statures and standards and what is considered successful, what we could think is most popular, what we think that is fame, fortune. It goes past all of that stuff that actually is temporary. None of those things can stand past whatever, rust, somebody stealing it, somebody whatever, contamination. It doesn't stand against that. It cannot defeat those things. It has to render itself. So these things is not worth for us to hold in our heart as considered successful or the blessing. The blessing is actually to be able to walk in peace, love, and joy, whatever, whenever situation you may possibly face. It doesn't matter, and that's the point of this this uh, this message, this word, is to say that you are worthy, but you have to accept the gift that's trying to tell you in your spirit or in your soul that you're worthy. If you can't accept that you are worthy, well, then you can't be worthy. You're not worthy based upon what the spirit of fear has deemed the world to be. The spirit of the world has said you're only worthy if you have this, and this. Basically, it's materialistic. Is anything that you can buy or anything that you can do that will cover your soul to escape. But it's nothing. The spirit of worthiness is actually the spirit of dominance. It's actually the spirit of authority. And the only way you can have this kind of power is through love, because love conquers everything. Love defeats everything. So everything that the spirit of the world is actually inviting us to have, the fame, the fortune, all these things are disguises. Even the pharmaceutical drug, even any kind of hallucinogen, anything that will allow you to levitate from being up under the spirit of the world, and it give you a way to escape. But you only escape temporarily. You don't escape permanently. That's excuse me. That's the reason why you have to go back and get that substance again. If it was self-sustaining, you only take it one time, and it will last you. The beautiful thing about inviting God's gift into your heart, this love, is one time you put it inside there, not one time that you do it out of some kind of habit or something like that, but one time that you honestly believe that God sent forth a gift to separate us from the spirit of torment, or the spirit of fear, or the spirit of darkness, or the spirit of anything that's considered unworthiness. If we can believe that God has given us a son, or given us this gift, which is his son, is to say that God loves us. And if we can receive that love, we have welcomed this small little drop inside of our soul that will set the soul free. That's why it's considered the truth. You don't need a bucket. I mean, the love of God is more than oceans. It's larger than oceans. However, we just need one drop of that ocean. And once that one drop comes in, we follow that drop, because it performs and births and manifests. It develops, it grows into a stream. That stream into a river to ocean. Now next thing you know, you're submerged in all this love of God. It takes one drop, and that one drop is the belief that the Father has given us a gift of love. And if you receive that that's a gift of love, and is designed and purpose to set us free from the dark spiritual forces that's covering this world. All right, my people of faith, you are the blessed. Let's be the blessing. Let's keep walking.